and all.
May we request all present and able to rise for Tamil Thai Valthu?
Welcome to Vellore International School's very first annual day celebration. I am Crystal of grade 7.
We will now have the lighting of the lamp ceremony. May I request our Chief Guest Shri T.S. Krishnamurthy to do the honors. I request our Chairman, Mr. V.S Selvam, Trustee of Srimati Rajeshwari Educational Charitable Trust, Mrs. Anusha Selvam, our Director, Dr. V.Sanjeevi, and our Advisor, Mr. V.Srinivasan, to accompany him.
And I am Sri Balaji of grade 7. We will be your MCs for the evening. Before we begin, may we request you to please switch off your phone or place them in silent mode. No flash photography, please. It distracts the student performing on stage. Please maintain silence as you enjoy the rest of the evening. Welcome one and all to this evening's festivity. We have been working hard for weeks, and now we finally get to present it to the esteemed dignitaries joining us today and our loving parents too.
It is with great pride and joy that we welcome Shri T.S. Krishnamurthy, former Chief Election Commissioner of India and our Chief Guest for the evening. We also welcome Mr. V.S Selvam, Vice President of Vellore Institute of Technology and the Chairman of our school, and Mrs. Anusha Selvam, Trustee of Srimati Rajeshwari Educational Charitable Trust. A lawyer by profession, she is passionate about social service and has seen the positive change that can be brought through by serving the community. Mrs. Anusha has started an NGO called Thuvani, which has 3 branches. The first one, Siragagal, is a government school for girls, and the second one, Chelakutti, is an animal welfare organization. A heartfelt welcome to the members of the school management community, Mr. Ganesh and Mr. Vinod.
A warm welcome to Dr. Sanjeevi, our director, Mr. V.Srinivasan, our advisor, Mr. Ramesh Bharadwaj, our academic coordinator, Mr. Arun Kumar, our head boarding, Captain Sumiti, our administrative officer, and Dr. Aruna, our admission coordinator. And finally, welcome beloved parents, dear teachers and staff, and all the students to Vellore International School's inaugural annual day celebration.
We also welcome the VIT staff. We will take your leave for now, but will be back very soon.
We will now have the lighting of the lamp ceremony. May I request our Chief Guest, Shri T.S. Krishnamurthy, to do the honors. I request our Chairman, Mr. V.S Selvam, Trustee of Srimati Rajeshwari Educational Charitable Trust, Mrs. Anusha Selvam, our Director, Dr. Sanjeevi, and our Advisor, Mr. V.Srinivasan, to accompany him. The lighting of the lamp signifies igniting the curious mind, fueling it with opportunities to grow and learn. The flame symbolizes the mind being drawn from darkness as knowledge illuminates and guides the individual. When we use opportunities to gain knowledge, we are one step closer to knowing ourselves fully. When we use the knowledge we have gained for benefiting the community around us, we are one step closer to knowing the world we are a part of. Thank you, sir. Thank you. The students are so excited to see you all, and we want to show you how happy we are to have you at our school with a grand welcome song. What an energetic start to our evening. Thank you, students. Thank you very much. Back to our MCs for the evening.
May we request our advisor, Mr. V.Srinivasan, to present the school annual report?
Thank you, Crystal and Sri Balaji. What a wonderful welcome song by the children. Thank you, children. Respected Chief Guest for the evening, T.S. Krishnamurthy, former Chief Election Commissioner of India, Chairman VIS and Vice President-VIT University, Mr. G.V. Selvam, Trustee Srimati Rajeshwari Educational Charitable Trust, Mrs. Anusha Selvam, Director VIS, Dr. V.Sanjeevi, members of the School Management Committee, Academic Coordinator Mr. Ramesh Kumar Bharadwaj, Head Boarding Mr. Arun Kumar, Admin Officer Captain Sumati, Admissions Coordinator and Students Counselor Dr. Aruna Saraswati, invited guests and dignitaries, dear parents, faculty, staff, and beloved children. Good evening to you all. Today is a momentous day in the life of Vellore International School. We are gathered here to celebrate the achievements of our school community in the academic year 2022-23. I take this opportunity to welcome our Chief Guest Shri T.S. Krishnamurthy, former Election Commissioner of India, to this evening's program. Thank you, sir, for being here with us today. Our chairman, Mr. G.V. Selvam, an unassuming, ever-cheerful, passionate and loving personality who has been our strength, providing the required confidence and motivating us to perform in all our ups and downs, moving towards the school vision. Thank you, sir, for your unstinted support and encouragement. Mr. Anusha Selvam, our trustee, has shown us the path by which the faculty and staff working towards children's happiness has prime importance in bringing up students in their formative years. Her discussions with academic leadership team, faculty, and staff provided the right kind of insight into the holistic learning at VIS. Thank you, ma'am, for being here with us today. Director Dr. V.Sanjeevi has been a source of inspiration to students, staff, and the faculty. His discussions with us in building VIS into a center of excellence have given us the right impetus in our work. Thank you, sir, for your support and guidance. Our parents have been wonderful and supported us in our endeavor to create holistic environment for the children to blossom. Our school management has created this 35-acre eco-friendly campus with state-of-the-art architecture and infrastructure and facilities that include fully equipped library and resource center, computer lab, 3 science labs, spacious academic block with modern classrooms, staff rooms, language rooms, aesthetically designed rooms for visual and performing arts, well-designed hostel block providing independent cubicles for boarders and also spaces for interaction and dorm activities. The modern kitchen and dining facility provides healthy, balanced and nutritious food under 3 categories: Jain, vegetarian and non-vegetarian. Come 23-24, school will witness sports activities on 400-meter athletic track and a swimming pool. School sports policy lays stress on swimming and athletics as compulsory activities for the students. Football, cricket field, basketball, volleyball courts will be commissioned in June 2023. Academics. The academic year was formally inaugurated on 29th June 2022 by His Excellency Honorable Vice President of India of that period, Shri M. Venkaiah Naidu, and classes began on 11th July 2022. Our chairman, Mr. G.V. Selvam, addressed the students, faculty and staff on the first day of the school on 11th July and briefed us on the school's vision and the path to take. The academic coordinator has put in place the year's academic program and the assessment modules, while the head boarding has drafted the boarders' schedule which includes weekend activities too. We at VIS have in place a profile building program, unique program where individualized systematic guidance is provided to build the profile of the child for the future. VIS follows a holistic approach to build each child's profile through diagnostic tests, self-evaluation and conversations. The learner is helped by their teacher proctor to set long and short-term goals with an action plan to achieve them. The PBP, as it is called, is reviewed periodically by the team. Learning at VIS is a blend of the best international pedagogical practices with Indian values. Teaching and learning has witnessed students benefiting through research and inquiry, interdisciplinary approach, project work, group discussion and presentations, leading to joyous learning, innovation, and independent and collaborative learning skills. We implemented a robust assessment and evaluation plan which consists of formative assessments known as continuous assessment test CAT, summative assessment test called final assessment test FAT at the end of each semester. A descriptive, consolidated and detailed report on child's achievement and progress are sent to the parents, and we have duly received their compliments and appreciation on the holistic report provided to them. Parent-teacher meetings are organized by the school once in each semester and one at the end of the year. These meetings strengthen our belief in our vision and mission. Faculty members participated in professional development programs on a regular basis to strengthen their professional skills, benefited through collaborative discussion meetings, and continuously updated their pedagogical practices. At VIS, we provide enough opportunities for the digital learning as well as experiential learning. One complements the other. Digital learning in the finer aspect brings in the finer aspects of communication, collaboration, cultural insight, critical thinking, creativity, safety, selection of the right kind of materials and right kind of skills. Experiential learning, on the other hand, bridges all the gaps in all that was mentioned before and makes the learner rounded. To balance the digital and experiential learning in children, the key is the teacher training, and the parental awareness. Let us adapt digital learning without losing the experiential learning. Beyond academics, children participated in a variety of afternoon activities that included robotics, science club activities, language skill enrichment activities, math club activities, computer club activities, music, art and craft, storytelling, western dance, and instrumental, karate, and silambam. Students attended weekly storytelling sessions conducted by well-known storyteller Sri Vidya Veeraraghavan. Students also attended robotics workshop conducted by a team from Automatics, Vellore. Students had opportunity to participate in an inter-school robotics competition at VIT Vellore in January 2023. Our students showcased their understanding, interest and talent through math exhibition, science exhibition, art and craft exhibition, language week activities, theatre night, borders cultural evening, etc. Students also celebrated Teachers' Day and National Science Day, New Year and Pongal through meaningful and well-organized activities. School assemblies conducted 4 times a week witnessed students taking initiative and exhibiting leadership skills, singing together and learning new songs, sharing important information that happened around the world, conducting quiz to enrich general knowledge, and so on. Sports and games. On sports and games front, VIS has morning PE 30 minutes and evening games 75 minutes in the daily schedule. Specialized coaching in football and cricket have been organized with the help of external experts from Mahogany Football Club and the Centurion Cricket Club, while internally students are provided lessons to hone their skills in basketball, badminton and table tennis. In-house tournaments in badminton, table tennis and chess were conducted by the PE department. The school held its first annual sports athletic meet recently with Chairman Shri G.V. Selvam presiding over the evening's program. National Days. Independence Day and Republic Day were celebrated with fervor, singing patriotic songs, students delivering well-prepared speech, reminding us the importance of these two national days. Professor Dr. Vedagiri Shanmugasundaram, the first Vice Chancellor of Manonmaniyam Sundarnar University, addressed the students and staff on the Independence Day, while Sri Rajaratnam, retired IAS and Chairman of Tamil Nadu Foundation, delivered his address on Republic Day. Next, boarding at VIS. House parents, under the guidance of head boarding, provided the positive ambience on campus for the students, learning without fear, opportunities to think independently and question, learn to eat balanced and healthy food, learn to care and respect others' views, participate in community service activities, and so on. The life on campus for the boarders has taught important social skills, dining etiquette, bonding, and caring for each other through carefully planned and organized in-house programs. Nature walks, planting trees and developing a kitchen garden, indoor games, weekend movies, weekend trips to Mamallapuram, social service activities at Mamallapuram, visit to Vandalur Zoo, overnight excursion to Pondicherry are some of the activities which help children to acquire important life skills and values. Inspections by the examination boards. We are happy to share that Council of Indian School Certificate Examination CISCE Delhi and Cambridge Assessment International Examination CAIE UK have completed their inspections and have expressed their satisfaction and complimented our readiness to start grade 9 in June 2023, preparing students towards ICSE and IGCSE examinations. Thank you. They have expressed their commendations on our management's vision and mission, state-of-the-art infrastructure and facilities, qualified, trained and experienced faculty and the staff, and the school policies and procedures in place. They also had a long interaction with the students, and they found that our students are scientifically oriented, no fear, able to question and relate to things which they hear, the great qualities, and they have expressed that personally to the academic team. In a residential school, the administration plays a crucial role in bringing cheer and happiness on the faces of the school community, namely the boarders and members of the faculty. We place on record our appreciation to the administration led by Captain Sumati, admissions and counseling led by Dr. Aruna, who have played key roles in establishing quality school programs. The 24/7 care and support provided by estate, landscape department, hospitality, housekeeping, security, and infirmary are highly commendable. I would like to thank all the parents for providing the necessary feedback, participating in parent-teacher interactions, supporting us in our activities, and above all, for your presence today to encourage our children in their programs. This happens to be the first annual day at this beautiful amphitheater in campus. And what is beyond my comprehension is the commitment, zeal, and enthusiasm with which the students and staff came forward to prepare and execute wonderful performance today. VIS teamwork is on display today. I am sure you will go back with fond memories of the talent that will be displayed here today. My heartfelt commendations to the staff and students. Finally, we are extremely fortunate to have a visionary management, committed teaching staff, responsible administration, hard-working estate department, ever-vigilant security, persevering housekeeping department, generous hospitality department, and imaginative landscape department. I place on record my gratitude to, we place on record our gratitude to everyone who has thrown his, her support solidly behind VIS to make this school distinctly different, forward-thinking, and progressive in all aspects. Thank you all for listening to me patiently.
Thank you, sir.
We now invite Mr. G.V. Selvam, the chairman of our school, to address the gathering.
Respected Chief Guest, Mr. T.S. Krishnamurthy, former Election Commissioner of India, Director Dr. Sanjeevi, Advisor Dr. Srinivasan, Mrs. Anusha Selvam, Trustee, Academic Coordinator, Administrative Officer, Head Boarding, Dr. Aruna, faculties, parents and guests, good evening. First, I like to thank our Chief Guest for accepting our invitation. In fact, he was about to attend last month advisory board. He could not come. But anyway, thank you very much, sir. First, I like to thank our parents because the belief they have on VIS. Still, I remember last year, so many civil activities were happening. They believed VIT brand, they admitted the kids. I hope the kids are happy. The school concept is first they should be happy. Then they should be a good human being. We will give assurance. If they pass out from VIS, he will come out as a good human being with good character. This school concept, it took almost 5-6 years to start the school itself. Myself and director started thinking and visiting so many schools. We selected an architect, one of the best architects in India. He gave a proposal. It took almost 1 year. He gave a proposal. We have been discussing in our boardroom. Mrs. Anusha Selvam didn't agree with that proposal. She changed the proposal itself. Then again it took 6 months. She said it should be a nature-loving concept. So we should study with nature. The building architecture should grow with nature. Then only we got this concept. So every week, an architect team is visiting our school to see this concept. So it's a unique building. I cannot forget the parents, particularly the parent who admitted their girls here. Chaitanya, Crystal, Nirvi, and Renisha. Thank you, parents. Because first batch, definitely they won't leave our girls there. But now totally it has changed. Last week, a parent has become an ambassador for VIS. An incoming parent want to speak to a parent. That parent spoke 30 minutes in phone about VIS. Thank you very much. Color ads won't speak. Only parents and students will speak. That's the success of the school. Whatever commitment we are given, one by one we are fulfilling that. Swimming pool, last week we had puja because of soil issue. We cannot complete in this year. Swimming pool and playground is getting ready. Next year, academic year, it will be ready. As I said, all sports activity has started. Starting from Silambam, yoga, football, cricket. We are getting basketball court also this year. Then tennis court is also getting ready. Always people used to say, right hand side is very helpful for all. And it's very strength for you also. So I have right hand side all VIT time. This is the first time I am seeing with folded hands. They are all working people. In fact, I told them you should not work. Please sit as a guest. This is the first time they are sitting and seeing a function. During the inauguration, they were running here without food and everything. I am very much thankful for you. Thank you. The selection of faculties. They were selected before COVID itself. We cannot open the school because of Corona. We selected faculty from different states, the best faculty in India. In fact, they were paid for 1 year. They could not come or reach Chennai. They were staying their native place. They were conducting online courses, and they had different trainings, how to handle students, how to handle parents, how the class to make it interesting. That was the success of the school. So I thank all the faculties who made the success in this 1 year. So what's next? As advisor said, we are coming with grade 9 next year. Many of our siblings have admitted. In fact, we got admission through reference itself. I thank the parents who have referred VIS. Definitely, VIS will become a brand. It will overtake VIT itself. I have that belief because of the parents and students studying here. I still remember in the day when the admission was given, I met almost all the parents. One boy was crying during the day. I used to meet him regularly whenever I visited school. I hope today he is very happy with smiling face. So many complexes were there, language complexes were there, they were not moving into other students. Now they started moving, they are very happy here. Happiness is very important. Always I used to say, be happy and keep others happy. That's what they are doing. Particularly their teamwork, leadership skills. Just now before this function, our students interviewed our election commissioner itself. Like Times of India, Hindu Report, they were asking several questions. They are trained to be a leader. They are going to be the future leaders of India. Definitely they are going to be the future leaders of India. In future, maybe after 20 years, if we enter office, if someone is working hard, definitely he will be a VIS student. I assured definitely will be from VIS. So that kind of culture we are developing here. It's not for the school or family, it's for the country. So we are creating good generation for the country. Someone asked me, why are you starting a school? We have around 80,000 students in your group university. I said, we want to create good generation for the country. That's a reason for starting VIS. We cannot change the world, but we can create youngsters who can work for the world and country, to love the country and love the family. Because everyone depends on money. Money is not a matter. Life is a matter. That we are teaching them. Definitely will be a good human being. Again, I am assuring. We are talking about individual profile building. Slowly we are developing, we are getting outside profession also. Not only academics, individual profile building will be done. So slowly we have started the work. In the second semester we have started the work. It will be done. Intercultural activities. Slowly we have started going out. They went to Vellore, robotics this person is there. They went to Vellore and participated. Slowly they will participate in other schools also. We are going to invite other schools also to VIS. It will happen in next academic year. Again, I thank all the parents and teachers, students. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
We are honored to be in the presence of Shri T.S. Krishnamurthy, former Chief Election Commissioner of India. May we request our Director, Dr. Sanjeevi, to introduce our esteemed Chief Guest.
Thank you, children. Good evening to all. I am very proud and privileged to introduce the person whom I respect very much, Mr. T.S. Krishnamurthy, who has been my guru for the last 19 years on many verticals when I got into serious issues with running my company and mostly with respect to regulatory systems. Nice of him to agreed when we requested him to be the chief guest for today's function. He has an illustrious career, and in fact another point Mr. Selvam told me, you have to only invite people with high integrity levels. So we are all proud to have a person as a chief guest who's for him the integrity is very, very important actually. Mr. T.S. Krishnamurthy was born in 1941, retired as Chief Election Commissioner of India in May 2005. Earlier he was Secretary, Department of Company Affairs, Government of India for about 4 years. He served in the civil service for 36 years before becoming a constitutional authority in the Election Commission of India. His main achievement was bringing about several important changes in the company law, how it teaches you how to run a company, and introduction of electronic voting machines throughout the country in 2004 Lok Sabha elections. I think that's the first time in the world. He was also an observer of the US presidential elections in 2004. He graduated with distinction in history, economics and political science from St. Joseph's College, Bangalore. Studied post-graduation in economics from the MS University, Baroda, and law, as he said, from the University of Madras. He did the MSc Physical Studies from the University of Bath, UK. He commenced his career as a probationary officer in the Bank of India Limited in 1961, joined the Indian Revenue Service, IRS, in 1963. After having worked in various capacities in the Income Tax Department, he worked as Commissioner of Income Tax, Chennai, Chief Commissioner of Income Tax, Bombay, and Director General of Income Tax Administration, New Delhi. Mr. Krishnamurthy has worked as Member Secretary, Shipping Development Fund Committee, General Manager of Finance and Commercial of Hindustan Shipyard, Vizag, on deputation. He was connected with training of income tax officers of the National Academy of Direct Taxes, Nagpur. In the Government of India, he was Joint Secretary, Department of Revenue, and Additional Secretary, Department of Expenditure in the Ministry of Finance. He was appointed by the Supreme Court to supervise and conduct the BCCI, which is the Cricket Control Board election. Ministry of Sports have also appointed him as a committee to get into checking one of the Olympic sports persons' record. His report in this regard has made vital suggestions to improve sports administration, which is still being used. Sri Krishnamurthy sir has written a book on democracy based on his Indian and international experience under the title Miracle of Democracy, India's Amazing Journey, which was released by Justice M. N. Venkatachalaya, former Chief Justice, Supreme Court of India, in 2008. He has been on the board of several non-governmental organizations and Indian companies since his retirement, and we are fortunate to have him as a member of our advisory board. Thank you, sir, for coming.
A very good evening to all of you. Mr. Selvam, Mrs. Selvam, Dr. Sanjeevi, Mr. Srinivasan, other members of the faculty, the administrators, coordinators, and so on, dear parents and children. May I say how delighted I am to be here this evening to address you here. I have been watching the Vellore Institute of Technology, particularly Mr. Vishwanathan, his dynamic leadership for the group, and his children doing very well, and I am equally delighted that Mr. Selvam has started this initiative to have a school, international school. My hearty congratulations to all of you, because what will ultimately decide the fate of India, education alone will decide the fate of a nation. If United States of America or China, or that matter any advanced nation, if it is successfully carrying on its activities, it is only because of their schools and universities. And in that context, India has been doing well in the last few years, and in particular, the education achievements in Tamil Nadu are praiseworthy. So in this state of affairs, this Vellore International School is indeed a spring in the field of education, and I am sure that the students trained here will have an excellent academic career here and also a career in the life thereafter. I am reminded of my own school days. I am, for your information, 81-year-old, so you can imagine when I would have been in the schools. And in those days, of course, I started my schooling in Tiruchirappalli, where probably up to second or third standard, we did not have anything like, what you have today. And up to 8th standard, I studied in Tiruchirappalli. And probably when I went to Baroda to study in Rosary High School, Baroda, for the first time I wore my shoes. Otherwise, we were only going to school with the chappals on. So the first day when I was wearing the shoe, to go to the school. It was an English medium school. In Tiruchi, I was in a Tamil medium school. It was a totally different world for me. In fact, I was trying to practice using the shoes for a few hours before I went to the school. So this is the kind of environment in which we started our schooling. And over a period of time, I studied in 3 schools because of my father's transfer. I studied in Tiruchi, Baroda, and then Bangalore. In fact, today, when they were interviewing me, they wanted to ask a question about some incident in the school which I cannot forget. I still remember when I was studying in the St. Joseph's School in Bangalore, we had a teacher by name Reverend Father Farias. He used to teach us English. And the most important thing that he would give is a homework every day to analyze each sentence. And if you make a mistake, he used to have a stick, beat your knuckle if you make a mistake. You used to be really scared. These things cannot happen today. I don't think any teacher will attempt to beat with a stick on a student because those days are over. It's a corporal punishment. You're not supposed to beat any child in the school. But then it had its own effect. When we finished that academic year, all the students were perfect in analyzing the sentences. So the carrot and stick principle followed in the school had its own advantages. I'm not saying that it should be continued now, but the point is, when you study, the focus, the attention must be extraordinary. The things you learn from home, from the parents, are very important. In fact, I was just reading a book where the author, Mr. Harold Kushner, a book called A Life That Matters. I would suggest, the book is not available. You should make it available in the library here. He tells how life has to be led by us. There, one of the things he mentions is, the student days, you face a big dilemma. Mother's love, she will tolerate any mistake you make. And father's strictness, he will expect you to distinguish yourself. He will expect you to do a teamwork. He will expect you to get good marks in the school. So you have to compromise between 2 kinds of forces, mother's love and father's leadership quality, to make you a good citizen, a good student in the school. So these are some of the very difficult experiences you will have, but then it's part of the learning curve that you have. I'm glad that the Vellore International School provides all facilities, including sports, and then the the parenting in the school itself by one of the faculty members. These are certainly things which are very important, and you should take your placement in the school very seriously. But I would also like to tell you, there are many children in this country who do not have this kind of a luxury and a facility that you enjoy. You must realize your parents are spending for it, and you must take it seriously because not all children have this benefit. I have been to nook and corner of this country. I have seen, particularly in eastern UP and eastern Bihar, children don't have electricity to study. They sit on a kerosene lamp and then study. Parents do not have enough income. They are not able to provide even school fees. But then things are changing. What I want you to realize is that life can be hard sometimes, and you must be prepared for that. While luxury is very important, comfort is very important in life, you must realize that there is an other side, and there can be situations when you have to face them in life. I thought I'll speak a few words about how to conduct yourself in the school and later in the life to come. The most important thing that I want you to inculcate in yourself is the reading habit. When we were all students, we were all encouraged by our teachers to read a book at least once a week. We used to have a fairly good library, but unfortunately with the advent of the laptop and iPads and so on, and the mobile phones, many students do not have the inclination to read books. Books are available even in Kindle, but then are you in a position to spend some time? Books have valuable information, and you must at least cultivate some kind of a schedule. If not once a month, at least once in a quarter you read 2 books, and your teacher should guide. I studied in a British university, and many of the things they won't teach. They'll only give you a reference. They'll broadly enunciate the things that you have to study in the subject, but they will ask you to take the book, and in the library you can take any number of 3 or 4 books. They can then prepare your own notes on each chapter, on each subject. So the reading habit is a very important quality that you should develop. The second important thing that I want you to remember in your life is examination is not everything in life. You should not be afraid of examination. You must take it as a sport. You must study well, listen to the teachers, and periodically revise your lessons. Exam is a child's play if you are attentive in the class. You don't have to be scared. So when I see some children, they are afraid of facing the exam, they take some drastic steps and so on, I feel very sorry. They have not been guided properly. So you must, even assuming that you did not well in one particular semester or year, a quarter, you can certainly improve in the next one. You must have the will to develop yourself. So the fear of exam should go. The third important thing that I want you to cultivate in the school is tolerance. Our country goes through very difficult times now. There are so many social conflicts taking place. Even in schools and colleges, the fights are taking place. I'm indeed distressed. While many Indians are distinguishing themselves all over the world in corporate and non-corporate world, is this the kind of message that we are going to send? Are our children going to fight among themselves? Sometimes the teacher is attacked, sometimes the student is attacked, sometimes the fight is carried on with the parents and so on. So my advice to you is learn to tolerate. There will always be difference of opinion. And it is a democracy where we have the freedom of expression. But the freedom of expression does not allow you to provoke anything that you want to do. Unfortunately, in our country, although there are many court decisions as to the limits of freedom of expression and also the need for tolerance, the message has really not gone to the educational institutions where you are forming your initial character in life. So you must accept there are people with differences. They will have different views, and there is no need to impose your view on him. Similarly, the other student has no right to impose his views on you. You must learn to tolerate. You must learn to admire differences of opinion. Tolerance requires 2 or 3 important characteristics. One is listening. You must learn to listen others. Very often in life it is found that you start talking even before listening to the other person. You do not understand his viewpoint. There can be a different viewpoint, and you must appreciate, analyze, and realize whether you could agree or not. The art of listening has to be developed. When parents give you an advice, Sometimes you tend to give a reply back. That's not the way to behave. These are all, we were all told in our younger days how to conduct ourselves with the parents. Parents are your first teachers in life, and they will never ever do anything wrong for you. And if they give a piece of advice, you can certainly, in a very smooth and organized manner, talk it over. But don't fight. Don't ill-treat your parents. This is the first lesson you should learn in life. Secondly, similarly in the school, do not ill-treat your teachers. They are fighting for your education. They are like ladders. They provide you the way to step up in life, to succeed in life. And if you cannot listen to them, if you cannot understand the feelings behind them, I'm afraid you will not turn out to be a good citizen. The art of listening is important. Empathy is another important characteristic you must develop. You must understand that the other person has a different approach to life, and you must place yourself in that position. You should not think that your view is always right and the other man cannot have a different attitude or view of life. Communication is another important characteristic you must develop. You should know how to communicate with the people. You have to be very soft, you have to be sweet, and you can communicate different things, harsh things in a very sweet manner. You must learn that. In fact, Indian astrologers say that in your horoscope chart, if you believe in it, in the second house, if you have Mercury, you will speak very well. This is inborn, of course. But that doesn't mean that you cannot communicate sweetly. You have to develop, you have to respect. For example, I had a lot of situations when I had to fight with my minister. And when I did that, I used to be very polite. I used to tell him what he was doing is wrong, and I will not be a party to it. But I will put it in such a manner, he cannot argue back to me. Sometimes there were instances where I had to communicate very bluntly with him, but in a very polite manner, that I will not carry out his orders. So even if you differ from another person, you have to learn the art of politely refusing. Decision making is another important thing that you develop in your school days so that it will help you in your career. I'm reminded of a very interesting, can I take another 10 minutes? I'm reminded of a very interesting anecdote communicated to me by one of the officers in the Punjab Civil Service. I believe he was secretary to the Chief Minister. He was traveling with the Chief Minister in the night from Delhi to Chandigarh. And when he was going there were two mice. They were trying to cross the road. And when they were going, the car was going fast. One mouse got killed. The other one escaped. And the Chief Minister asked Mr. I.C. Puri, was the IAS officer from Punjab Kada. He asked him, how do you explain this? One got killed, the other one escaped. He, in his typical manner, he said, one must have committed more sins, that's why it got killed. The other one probably did not commit as many sins as the other one and got escaped. Then Mr. Pratap Singh Kairon replied to him and said, I am afraid this is not an administrator's reply. If the mouse crossed successfully because it took the decision at the right time to cross. And if one got killed because it did not take the decision at the right time. So you must, the school is the best place where you can develop this art of decision making, because as you proceed in life over a period of time, you will have many, many challenges. Sometimes it will be very difficult to take a decision. There is again another anecdote which is normally mentioned. An engine driver comes on a rail line and he finds on the line there were children playing there. On the other, there is a diversion line. On that there was no children. But there is a board, children should not play on the track where the train was coming. And still the engine driver was to take a decision whether you should go ahead in the place where the children are playing or go to the diverted line. So this is again a decision where both can be justified. So you must train yourself to find out which one will be in the interest of the society, which will be in the interest of the people around, and try to take those decisions, cultivate these decisions. And the parents should also, teachers should encourage them to take independent decisions. I'm glad that you are developing the students for these leadership qualities, because ultimately your decision-making ability will decide the course of your career. And I can certainly say that from a Tamil medium school and later on to a British university, when I went over in my life, this is one of the things I was very clear. I could be very particular about polite in being communication and also taking decisions very bluntly. I used to, in fact, I'm reminded of what Abraham Lincoln told in his letter to the headmaster: be gentle to the people who are gentle to you, and be tough with the people who are tough with you. But all the same, politeness is very important characteristic you must cultivate. Human relations is another important quality that you should develop. You must understand the suffering of the poor, suffering of the people around you. You must be considerate to them. God has been kind to you to provide a reasonable system of education, a comfortable life. There are many who are not given in a country like ours. There's so much of inequality. You must develop the heart of appreciating others' difficulty and sympathizing. There are a number of instances, I don't want to spend too much of time on that. The number of instances are people have risen on occasions to go out of the way to help very poor people. Humility is another characteristic you must develop. Do not be arrogant. If you are arrogant, I can tell you 50% of your success is not assured. You have to be humble. And the more you go up, you climb up in life, the more you become a little older, you must display more humility, more magnanimity. You must, only then you will command the respect of people. Well, I can keep on giving you advice, but this is not a sermon or a moral science class. I should not be boring you with too many advice. But there is one thing which I thought I must emphasize. That is the desire to innovate. India is said to be a hub for innovations now. And a lot of Indians have distinguished themselves in various fields all over the world in the field of technology. And the desire to innovate should be cultivated. I know these days most of the schools and colleges, they provide opportunities to show the innovation of the children. There are a lot of competitions, inter-school, inter-collegiate competition and so on. But it has to come from within. It cannot be instilled in you by, saying that you must innovate, you do something and all that. So you must learn to ask questions. Questions, because for hundreds of years, things might have happened. But you must ask, is this correct? Can we change? Can any method be introduced to lessen the task? And so on. So innovation is a very important quality. So ultimately, the most important thing that in life you should remember is a life that matters. Mere success, mere money, wealth, earning, they are not going to give you mental peace. Yes, they are necessary. They provide comforts in life. They provide opportunity for you to be charitable to others. So you must earn money. This is what I once addressed the IIM students in Calcutta. I told them, there is an impression that all MBA graduates are very keen on getting rich income or a rich salary, or they do not accept a difficult kind of life. So I used to tell them that yes, money is necessary, and money is necessary, and it gives you an opportunity to do many things. It provides you comfort, it provides you luxury, it provides you an opportunity to help poor people. So earn well, earn more, but learn to know that money is not important in life beyond a point. And more than money, your human nature, your understanding others' difficulties, they are very important. So do not be, in your mind, do not develop an attitude that we can make money, we should make money, we should start, doing all that is probably typically Western. There is a craze more than the parents, more than the teachers, more than the students. The parents are very keen. In one of the grievances, many experts say is parents force them to make student somehow study well and go abroad and earn a lot of income. Yes, they have a good objective, no doubt about it. But that should not be the sole objective. You must earn. You must earn, make money, and come back and do something for this country. This country has got a very rich opportunity for youngsters. I can tell you, when we were all, came out of the school, or when we came out of the colleges, our opportunities in life were very limited. Most of us used to look for a job in the government. But today, it is not so. So you have so much of opportunities to distinguish yourself, but start training yourself right from the beginning in the school. You will blossom into a great citizen of this country if only you have an objective that you will do everything good for the country, everything good for you automatically will lead you to the country doing very well. So a love of the country is another important thing that I would stress upon. Unfortunately, presently, the kind of, governance you have, there is some kind of a, anxiety to promote growth without ethics. Ethics are very important. Particularly, I know you are too young to understand the meaning of corruption and so on, but if you know that things have to be done in the right manner, and that you should at least train yourself to see that you don't resort to unethical means to achieve success in life, then you have done a reasonable study in the schools and colleges. It's very important for you to realize that a ethical life will always bring success. I can quote you any number of instances where people have practiced a very disciplined life, and they have found that in the later years, success and rewards come on its own. In fact, when I missed my IAS by about 2 marks, I thought that the end of the world was there, and I felt that I'm going to be doing some ordinary work and so on, because right from my childhood days, I had decided I'll join the civil service. And somehow I was training myself right from the beginning, from the college and so on. But the moment I missed by 2 marks, I thought the whole world had come down. But then my mother wrote a letter to me saying that don't worry, if you really work hard, you will do even better than the IAS officers. And that's what I did. And when the Prime Minister called me to appoint me as an election commissioner, in fact, that was the moment where I thought of my wife, because many of them thought of my mother. And the rewards will come. Don't be worried at all. So long as you work hard, rewards will come. And I can give you an assurance. There are number of success stories in this country. You must read some of these biographies of the leaders who succeeded in coming from an ordinary background. They did so well. So I will conclude, I think, with a famous quotation from Tirukkural. Karka kasharara karka, karpavai katrabin nirka adarku taha. It means, I think for those who do not know Tamil, learn whatever you have to learn. But after you learn, please understand to implement whatever you learn in the right manner. So I have no doubts that the school authorities, the teachers and the students will do well, but have only one motive, have a life that matters. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. There is so much that the students can incorporate today and for many years to come as they become lifelong learners. Not just the students, I think the entire audience. We now move on to the much awaited award ceremony. May I invite our Chief Guest, Shri T.S. Krishnamurthy, accompanied by Mr.Srinivasan, to present the awards to the students. At VIS, awards are a chance to congratulate those who have put in their hard work and time in a particular field. In a world where competing in a stressful environment is considered normal, we are training our children to set goals for themselves and work consistently and strategically towards achieving them. This way, they learn lifelong skills which help them tackle any competitive situation without feeling overwhelmed or losing confidence. The award ceremony also serves the added role of being an event which the students can aspire to be a part of every academic year, thereby working towards it with a zeal to excel. We begin the awards for competitions that were held during Language Week. The award for the Short Story Writer of the Year goes to Subhanatish N. He won the short story competition with his story titled An Unforgettable Trip. The next award goes to the winner of the elocution competition. The Orator of the Year award goes to Rudraksh P. Rajpurohit. We now move on to two awards which were spurred by a week-long reading activity in class. We hope this makes you very happy, sir. The award for the Reader of the Year goes to Akash Nair. He is a voracious reader who just devours books in his free time and sometimes even when he's not meant to be reading. The next award is for an individual who has just begun reading complete books, and we are so excited for all the ones he'll be reading. The award for the Budding Reader of the Year goes to Haricharan N. The next award is to a student who has spent many joyful hours in the art room and has made breathtaking contributions to the art at VIS. The award for the Artist of the Year goes to Tarun S. The award for the Sportsman of the Year goes to Lingala Sritan Reddy. There are many students who are enthusiastic about sports, but there is one who excels in both athletics and basketball because of his sheer hard work. Students of VIS have been enjoying weekly sessions of robotics classes organized by the automatics team. There are two students who have performed exceptionally well, K.R. Sri Balaji and Manuram Srinivasan. National Science Day began with a thrilling science quiz. The winners of this quiz were Renisha Jami, and Tanish Ryan, both of whom represented Pioneer House. The upcoming awards are for academic excellence. The receivers of this award have consistently scored high marks at their grade level and are now being congratulated for the same. For academic excellence in grade 5, Rudraksh P. Rajpurohit. For academic excellence in grade 6, Keshav V. For academic excellence in grade 7, Disha Crystal Santosh Raj. And for academic excellence in grade 8, Renisha Jame. May we have a round of applause for all those who have received their awards now. Thank you, sir. At VIS, we value our close bond with the parents. And to honor this, we would like to present you with a heartfelt memento, requesting Mr. G.V. Selvam to do the honors. I request the parents and the student to remain seated until we announce the category you are a part of. Can we have parents from Group 1? Group 1 are the parents of Adrian and Disha Crystal, Chaitanya Riya, Hari Charan and Subhanitish, Naksh and Rudraksh Rajpurohit. Yeah. So first, Adrian and Disha Crystal. Chaitanya Riya. Parents of Chaitanya Riya. Yeah, students. Charan and Subhanitish. The next group of parents will be those whose students are in grade 6. Parents of Hari Charan and Subhanitish. Are in grade 6. And parent of Rudraksh Rajpurohit. Group 2, the order is Keshav, Krishnarayan, Mokshit Reddy, Arihant Jain and Balamuru. And we've got grade 7s as well in this list. So Keshav, Krishnarayan, Mokshit, Arihant and Balamuru. Parents of Krishnarayan. up, Keshav. We could invite grades Mokshat Reddy, sorry. Arihant Jain and Balamurgan's parents as well in this group. Parents of Arihant Jain. Next are parents of Balamurgan. Balaji, Abhinav Jairam, Ashwin Kumar, Krishna Bashim and Leher Reddy. Requesting parents to come to the side, please. Thank you. Parents of Sri Balaji first, please. Parents of Abhinav Jairam, please. Parents of Ashwin Kumar, please. Parents of Krishna Bashim, please. Parents of Leher Reddy. Thank you. We'll move on to group 4. Parents of Dhanvin Reddy, Dashrath, Hiten, Nirvi and Sai Hriday, please. We invite the parents of Dhanvin Reddy. Parents of Dashrath. Parents of Hiten. Nirvi. Group 5 is parents of Manoram, Muhammad Afnan, Akash Nair, Vishnu Vardhan and Sri Hari Santosh. Requesting you to come to the side, please. Grandparents of Sai Hriday. We move on to the next group. Parents of Manuram. Parents of Muhammad Afnan. Parents of Akash Nair. Parents of Vishnuvardhan. The next group will be parents of Sonish Verma, Tarun S, Venkata Vignesh, Tanish and Sritan. Requesting to come to the side, please. Next we have parents of Sri Hari Santosh. We move on to the next group. Parents of Sonish Verma. Parents of Tarun. Parents of Venkata Vignesh. Parents of Tanish. We now call Renisha. And Sritan. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. I now give the mic over to our student MCs once again.
As we shift gears, we need to set the stage for next grand presentation. Students have been learning the guitar and keyboard, and now they have a performance for you. Enjoy as they take you on an instrumental journey.
occupation in the world after hunting. Humans are wired to love stories, and to tell a story effectively, it takes talent. Oral storytelling is an art. Every time a good narrative is told, a crucial area of the human brain is awakened and put into action. Effective storytelling seeks to engage, surprise, move, and elicit an emotional reaction from the audience. It sparks concentration, imagination, creativity, and a sense of connectedness with oneself and the wider world. Each week, the children of VIS are drawn into colorful magical worlds as they listen to stories by the renowned storyteller Ms. Sri Vidya Veeraraghavan. A few students have been trained by her to become young storytellers. A short story excerpt from Ms. Sri Vidya Veeraraghavan's Happy Box will be used by our young oral storytellers to demonstrate their talent.
Hello everyone. Once there lived a man called Mr. Cry. Yes, you all have heard his name right. It was Mr. Cry. And that is because he was always grumpy and sad, and he looked like he was going to cry any minute now. All he was searching was for happiness. And I'm sure everyone here are searching for the same answer. But Mr. Cry seemed to be fortunate. He found the key. Want to know how? Listen to the story ahead.
Now, let's begin the story of Mr. Cry. One day, Mr. Cry found a big, magical wooden box. It was written Happy Box in it. Immediately, Mr. Cry wanted to open the box, but the box wouldn't open. But suddenly, the box shrunk into the size of a matchbox. Then, an old angel appeared out of thin air. She said, "If you want the box to open, you must fulfill my 3 conditions." Could any of you guess what were the conditions?
The 3 conditions are: condition number 1 is to smile and say hello to everyone you meet. Condition number 2 is to show kindness to everyone. Condition number 3, it's all said to be done, but only by you. The key that you hold, speak the action that you behold. Gratitude that you owe, it's time for you to show.
Now, Mr. Cry, having done as exactly as said by the angel for a long time, he smiled, he greeted, he earned respect, he showed his gratitude and dignity, and finally said to himself, as many of us might have said to ourselves, that the world finally started to look like a better place to live in.
All 3 conditions were met. It was time to open the box. He rushed to his house, opened his almirah, and you know what he found? The happy box had grown to its original size. He tried to open it, but it wouldn't. He tried with all his might, but it still wouldn't open.
After doing what the angel has said to us for a long time, Mr. Cry pondered to himself, what did I miss? What did I miss?
Aren't you happy now, Mr. Cry? The old lady appeared and said, happy? I don't know. I feel there's a miss somewhere. Mr. Cry was certainly looking for the real answer. You were good to others. But, saying so, the old lady took a mirror and gave it to Mr. Cry.
Mr. Cry just stared at her and the mirror. He could see himself so closely to his reflections. A thick, malnourished skin with dead cells here and there, spots, acne, wounds, grey hair, dark circles. But there was something reassuring, that his cheeks had stopped sagging because of a smile.
So, what did you see? The old lady asked. Mr. Cry was stumped. She asked, have you ever said hello to yourself? Did you assist your body cells into regenerating more effectively with healthy food and diet? Have you ever given yourself a pat on the back for doing so well so far? Have you ever considered to show gratitude to the Almighty, the Creator, the energy, and nature? Let me share a few more secrets, the old lady said after a brief pause. Accept yourself. Be friends with yourself. It is equally important for you to thank and cheer yourself for every step taken forward for good. Don't worry if there are those tiny steps. Every step counts.
From then onwards, Mr. Cry chose to begin every day with a cheerful tone, hoping the day will be a good day. And his food habits were also improving by healthy and fresh ingredients. And he could feel the sense of change himself, the sense of weightlessness and fitness. Inside and out, he felt considerably better.
All these days, the happy box was a spectator of the changed attitude in Mr. Cry. One fine morning, Mr. Cry opened the almirah and took the happy box in his hands. It seemed a lot heavier than he previously has seen it. The box was shaking as if there is something inside and it's trying to come out. The box was barely trying to keep it inside. He got a feeling that he was the chosen one to open the box.
Now, after waiting all these days, Mr. Cry finally held the box in his hand, looked at it, and all ready to open it. He carefully held the top knot in his hands, slowly opening the box while hearing the rusty sound it caused, and while finally looking into it, he was shocked. The happy box was empty.
Did you find what you were looking for? A voice behind him said. It was the old lady angel. Yes, yes, I did. I found it. I found my true happiness, Mr. Cry said. I told you that the box will help you find what you were looking for. The old lady said as she vanished into thin air.
The real secret wasn't in the happy box, but it was hidden inside him. The sense of happiness was magical, invisible, unexplained, and yet the most beautiful and complete.
Happiness lies inside you and with the three conditions. We can sense the inner happiness and cherish it forever.
From then onwards, he wasn't Mr. Cry. From then on, his name was, can anybody guess? Yes, his name was Mr. Happy.
Thank you.
The focus of our cultural performance for the evening is on unique mind of a child. We all understand that it is beautiful the way a baby picks up words and understands gestures, the greatness of a toddler's first sentence and the sheer capacity of observing everything around them and putting it together. Wow, it is full of wonder.
Yes, but as creative as it is fragile, it is vulnerable and impressionable. A child's mind needs to be nourished like a flower, not locked up indoors, but gently let in soft sunlight with fresh air all around, so it can grow to its full potential and spread joy to the world. The mind of the child is like that. It is not going to blossom from being locked away. It will fear and despise the world around it.
Let's find out what the students of VIS feel about this. We present to you Cherish, celebrating childhood.
Our navy blue, with the seas be purple,
You don't need flowers with very yellow feet. If the sky was green, what about the trees? Would they be green too, or would they be blue? Would the seas be purple, or would that make everyone gurgle? Would they revolt with orange lightning bolts? So I must say, be careful on your way. In hope you don't meet flowers with very yellow feet. We must trust that little voice in our head that says, wouldn't it be interesting if, and do it. How many of us have imagined that large bare tree in a garden transforming into a ghost before our very eyes, or saving the day with a scarf around our necks, forming a superhero cape?
I have even thought about raindrops tasting like my favorite juice or ice cream flavors. Have you? I think it's like opening the door to a possibility and allowing myself to step through for a little while. Some days I'm the hero of my own story, and some days I'm a bird gliding over rooftops looking at the tiny cars on the road. I love it!
Wow! But wait, you'll get your turn. Here we have students who are thrilled to share their imaginary world with us. Why don't we see what they have to say? Maybe they will echo the worlds we have in our minds.
हो दुनिया जो चित्र फलक चित्रकार बन जाऊं रंग बिरंगे रंगों से दुनिया यह सजाऊं होंगे ना लाचार कोई ना होंगे बीमार मिलजुल कर रहते होंगे हो जैसे परिवार आहा कितने सुंदर होंगे रंग और कितनी सुंदर होगी मेरी दुनिया वहां होगी चॉकलेट की बारिश पेड़ों पर लगेगी कैंडीज और हाँ वो पेड़ मैं किसी को भी काटने नहीं दूंगा हर रोज मम्मी जबरदस्ती आइसक्रीम खिलाएगी और पापा तो पिज्जा न खाने पर डांट ही लगा देंगे स्कूल में 1 घंटे पढ़ाई और 7 घंटे स्पोर्ट्स की क्लास होगी आहा कितना मजेदार है सब जरा सोचूं तो और क्या क्या होगा मेरी दुनिया में क्या वो मैली नदी जिसके साफ पानी को हम सबने गंदा कर दिया है या वो जंगल जो पूरी तरह काट दिया गया है या होंगे वो बीमार बाबा जो सड़क किनारे मदद के लिए बैठे थे या फिर वो बिल्ली जिसके पैरों को कुछ बच्चों ने सिर्फ अपनी मजे के लिए बांध दिया था नहीं यह मेरी दुनिया नहीं हो सकती मेरी दुनिया तो बहुत खूबसूरत होगी उसमें होंगे प्यार के सुनहरे रंग दया का गुलाबी रंग और होगा शांति का सफेद रंग स्वच्छ नदी हरे भरे पेड़ हंसते खेलते मुस्कुराते चेहरे नाचते रंगीन मोर क्या आपने देखी है कभी ये देखो ये है मेरी दुनिया और ये नाचते मोर The real shock, my mother's voice, usually stern and certainly not in tune, came to me as a complex piece of 4 seconds. She was saying, "What's going on? Are you still asleep?" And I could only hear, "What's going on? Are you still asleep? What's going on? Are you still asleep?" And it wasn't just voices. Sounds of water gushing out of a tap sounded like a melody fit for an advertisement jingle. And even a fan moving at sloth pace sounded like a comforting lullaby. Everything turned to music. Even in class, I got distracted by the scratching sound of my nail against the desk. The short, sharp notes sounding just like Mexican maracas. Since I was not paying attention, my teacher began scolding me. But lo and behold, it sounded just like a rap song. In fact, when she began teaching us about the periodic table, it sounded a lot like this.
Of the periodic table.
Hydrogen and helium, then lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon everywhere, nitrogen onto helium, oxygen so you can fluorine for your pretty teeth, neon to light up the sign, sodium for salty tongues, aluminium, silicon, sulfur, chlorine and argon, calcium, so you'll go strong. Titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese. This is the periodic table, noble gases stable. Halogens and alkali react aggressively. Each period will see new alterations while electrons are added into the room. Iron is the 26 and cobalt nickel conjugate, co-present in gallium, germanium and arsenic, selenium and bromine, film or krypton, let's add up your room, rubidium, strontium, then yttrium, zirconium, molybdenum, technetium, rhodium, palladium, cadmium and indium, manganese, tellurium and iodine, xenon and then cesium and barium is 56, and this is where the table splits, where lanthanides have just begun. Lanthanum, cerium and praseodymium. Neodymium's next to promethium, then 62. Samarium, europium, gadolinium and terbium, dysprosium, holmium, erbium, thulium, terbium, lutetium. Tantalum, tungsten, then we'll run to osmium and iridium. To mercury still grow. To tell you Venus really cool. Let him bismuth for your tummy. Astothan would not be yummy. Francium will last a little time. Then after at 89.
The very next day, I ran to my music teacher to share my secret. She didn't believe me at first. But when I sang to her with all these connections in my mind, she loved it. She loved it so much that she even asked me to create a piece for our school. This world, where everything I see here is in the form of music, this is where I am myself the most.
నీలారం అడుగుల్లో అల్లా చెరెక్కల్లో పట్ పట్ సంగీతాలే వినో గోవుల్లా చిందులలో కొలువున్న మాలచ్చి ఎట్టా పాడిందో వినో సంగీతికారి సంగీతికా సంగీతికాయి సంగీతికా జీవన సంగీత సురా వర్షించే వాన జల్లు వర్ణాలన్నీ గానాలేలే ధరణి చిటికేసే వినో హిల్ కోరే హిల్ కోరే హిల్ కోరే హిల్ కోరే మంగళారే మంగళారే దోరి దోరి భయ్యా हिल कोरे हिल कोरे हिल कोरे हिल कोरे जंगलारे धूनी रागे दैया पूपू कुम्मोसे अदके कतानासे पुल्विरयुम्मोसे अदके कतानासे पच्चिगलिन कुक्कुक्कू पूचिगलिन रिंग 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 संगीतम சொல்லித் தருமே தங்கப் பெண்ணே காலோடு சலங்கை பூட்டி கரையெல்லாம் வீணை மீட்டி நதி பாடும் பாடல் கேளாய் பட்டு பெண்ணே பூமி ஒரு வீணை இதை காற்றின் கைகள் மீட்டுதே கேட்கும் மொழி எல்லாம் அடசாரி காம பதனி சரி
Where there is music, I'm there. My feet move to the rhythm, my heart beats in sync. I am dance. The world around me moves to my beat as I connect through my I dance to my own tune and my world joins me. My feelings and thoughts are expressed in the only language I'm fluent in, dance.
Oh, do you think the same way I do about dance? தாயின் கருவறையில் உதயமாகியது. தரையில் கால்பட்ட போதெல்லாம் தொடர்ந்தது. தன்னிலை உணரும் போது அது மேலோங்கியது. தனிமை என்னை தொடவே இல்லை. மரங்கள் ஆட, அலைகள் அசைய, திரைகளும் சேர்ந்து கொள்ள, அருவி போல் நடன பயிற்சி. அசையும் அனைத்திலும் நடனம் கண்டேன். நடனம் மட்டுமே ஆனந்தம். அதுவே என்னை தலை நிமிர்த்தியது. என் மனதை வடிவமைத்தது. ஆம், என் மனதை வடிவமைத்தது, மேன்மைப்படுத்தியது. ஆடினேன், ஆடுகிறேன், ஆடிக்கொண்டே இருப்பேன் என் இறுதி வரை. நடனம் எனக்கு புத்துணர்ச்சியை கொடுக்கிறது. நான் பார்க்கும் அனைத்திலும் நடனத்தை என்னால் காண முடிகிறது. ஆம், நடனம் என் வாழ்வோடு இணைந்து விட்டது. Yes, dance shaped my mind, gave me confidence to face the world. I see dance in everything.
Kirdaka Januta, Dimta, Kirdaka Januta, Dimta, Kirdaka Januta, Dumta, Dumta na 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 na, Dum ta na 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 na, Dum Magapa, Dum ta na na de na 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 na, Dum Magasa, Dagda Dum da 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 di na 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 na. Dagda Dum da Dagda Dum Dagda Dum 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 da na 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 di na 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 Dum da na di na na Gama Gama Maga Ma Ba Maga Sa Ni Sa da na di na na Gama Gama Maga Ma Ba Maga Sa Ni Sa da na di na na Gama Gama Maga Ma Ba Maga Sa Ni Sa. Come on now, follow my lead. Come on now, follow my lead. Rama Ba Maga Rama Rama Ba Maga Ma Sa Rama Ba Maga Rama Rama Ba Maga Ma Sa Rama Di Ba Ga Mama Rama Ba Maga Ma Sa 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 Rama Ba Sa Ga Mama. I'm in love with your body. Why? Niri Ba Ba Kari Sa Mi. Why? Pani Sa Sa Pani Sa Sa Pani Sa Sa. Why? Kari Ni Sa Ma Kari Sa Mi Da Ba. Now follow my lead. Gama ba ma gama ma ni sa sa. Gama ba ma gama sa. Gari sa sa. Gama ba ma gama gari sa ni ba ma gari ni sa gama ba ni sa. Ni ni ba ma gari sa ni. Ba ni sa sa ba ni sa sa ba ni sa sa. Ni sa ma gari sa ni ba ma gari. Come now, follow my lead.
You communicate with the ones you love in the form you love. But I have no one to talk to. My day used to begin and end in solitude. I would walk back, treading the deafening silence of my home, where each breath I take is audible. Everyone at home is busy with work, while I used to wait endlessly for company. One heavy evening, as I approached the front door, it spoke to me in a a loud, booming voice. I have been waiting for you for ages. I looked around. The voice spoke again as the door opened. I wasn't afraid anymore, just excited that someone was waiting for me. The minute I walked in, eyes wide, I felt the AC turn on, ushering me into cool, breezy heaven. An office chair swiveled towards me and gently nudged my arm. It sat me down, and immediately a bowl of chips floated towards me and landed in my lap. From the corner of my eye, I saw the TV turn on. But instead of the boring programming ad, the TV started chatting with me. We talked for hours about school, my friends, my classes, what I ate, and what I played. For a change, it wasn't me waiting for anyone else. I have created a world which loves and accepts me for who I am.
Chakaraka chichacho chakaloram gando wando lakarakatam akko takko idigidigidigo idipai vidipai chiki chakacho giligilimal sulusulumal makanaka hukubukure tukubukure chakalaka bikko chikko sili sili siligo bagradum chiki chakacho.
वो पेड़ है चादर ओढ़े या खड़ा कोई देखो देखो क्या वो पेड़ है चादर ओढ़े या खड़ा कोई बारिश है या आसमान ने छोड़ दिए हैं नल खुले कहीं हाँ हम जैसे देखे ये जहां है वैसा ही जैसी नजर अपनी खुल के सोचे आओ पंख जरा फैलाओ रंग नए बिखराओ चलो 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 नए ख्वाब बुन ले मस्ती में डोले बम बम बोले मस्ती में तू डोल रे बम बम बोले मस्ती में डोले बम बम बोले मस्ती में तू डोल रे भला मछलियां भी क्यों उड़ती नहीं ऐसे भी सोचो ना सोचो सूरज रोज नहाए या बाल भिगो के ये बुद्धू बनाए हमने ये सारे तारे टिमटिमाए या फिर गुस्से में कुछ बड़बड़ाते रहे खुल के सोचे आओ पंख जरा फैलाओ रंग नए बिखराओ चलो 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 नए ख्वाब बुन ले
टैंकर फुल आंखें बंद तो डब्बा गुल ओ बंद दरवाजे खोल रे हो जा बिंदास बोल रे मैं भी हूँ तू भी है ओ मैं भी तू भी हम सब मिलके बम चिक बम 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 बम
ऐसी रंगों भरी अपनी दुनिया है क्यों सोचो तो सोचो ना प्यार से चुन के इन रंगों को किसी ने सजाया ये संसार है जो इतनी सुंदर है अपनी दुनिया ऊपर वाला क्या कोई कलाकार है खुद के सोचे जरा फैलाओ रंग गए बिखराओ चलो 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 नए ख्वाब बोले मस्ती में डोले मस्ती में तू डोल रे मस्ती में डोले मस्ती में तू डोल रे मस्ती में डोले
How many times do we have to tell them? Come on, children, stop all this playing around.
Yes, yes. You know how much time just flies by when you begin wasting it away, right?
I can't believe how lightly you're taking this. Tell them clearly, this is useless. Where is the reality in all this? The world we live in won't be kind to you when your head is in the clouds. Come back down to earth, you lot. Look around you. Children your age are studying day and night, not whiling away their time like you all.
What's the point of crying now? Feeling bad about not using your time productively?
Okay, wipe those tears now. Don't cry over spilt milk.
We will leave you to think about how you are going to change yourself. We are expecting better from you.
You know what, guys? I feel like we need to think about this now. What are we doing with our lives? Am I valuing what my elders are doing for me? Do we have a good future if we continue this way? What do they mean when they say, dream big, but at the very next breath, they say, stop dreaming? What am I expected to do? This or that?
Elders around me have been saying this, but I really don't understand what they mean by being focused. I love paying attention to the wriggling earthworms in the soil or the cheerful chirping of birds, but I don't think that's what they mean. Is there something wrong in just enjoying my life? It makes me so sad to be confused. What is the point of only thinking about the future and not living in the present?
I'm ashamed of my behavior. It made me feel dejected to hear them say those things. But the more I think about it, the more anxious I get. I have been feeling this way ever since I heard them say nothing comes from imagination. My head becomes heavy and my mood goes up. I don't feel like talking or playing with anyone. It's true. I should learn to stop. But their dream is different from mine. And no matter how much I try, I cannot live up to it.
I agree with what our parents said because I believe I'm ignoring my responsibilities. I have to stop daydreaming, indulging in my favorite thoughts in class. I used to keep thinking about many things, mostly an eraser which can find the mistakes on my page and erase it for me. No, there I go again, imagining, daydreaming, wasting time. From now on, I have to correct my own mistakes. I remember my relatives talking about my cousins and their grades. I should make my parents proud of me no matter what I feel.
भागेया भागेया बालक भागे तितली फिर भी हाथ में लागे इस बगले को कौन बताए ढूंढ रहा है जो तू जग में कोई जो पाए तो मन नहीं पाए सपनों से भरने ना तो नींद न चला सपनों से भरने ना तो नींद न चला ऐसी डगर कोई अगर जो अपनाए हर राह के वो अंत पे रास्ता ही पाए धूप का रास्ता जो पैर जलाए मोड़ता है जो नाए राही जो चलता है जलता ही जाए कोई नहीं है जो कहीं उसे समझाए सपनों से भरने ना तो नींद है न चैना सपनों से भरने ना तो नींद है न चैना सारे सगा गारे सगा गदा मद मद गदा मद म सगा गदा मद गदा मद म रे गमने द परसान सारे गरे ग सारे सगा ग सा रे गा सारे सारे गा सारे सारे गा सारे सा
We need to become that, and we need you to be there for us.
We wish you would guide us to life. Not only teach us how cruel it can be,
We wish you'd prepare us for the test of life, not only a test in an exam hall.
We wish you would be our friends and mentors who care for us and celebrate us, not only correct and chastise us.
Let's talk, adults and children. Let's talk about our successes and failures. Let's talk, adults and children. Let's ponder on our difficulties together.
Let's talk, adults and children. Let's communicate our wishes and dreams for our lives as well as lives for others.
Life can be beautiful, but if we don't learn to love ourselves and our unique qualities and abilities, it can be very hard to see the glorious world around us. Let's celebrate this life with happiness in our hearts.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy, clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy, clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Hey, bring me down, can't run. Bring me down, the love is too high. Bring me down, can't run. Bring me down, I said, take it down. Bring me down, can't run. Bring me down, the love is too high. Bring me down, can't run. Bring me down, I said, because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy, clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy, clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't run. Bring me down, the love is too high. Bring me down, can't run. Bring me down, I said, because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy, clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy, clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
I now request Tanish of grade 8 to give the word of thanks.
feel honored to present word of thanks on the inaugural annual day celebration of Vellore International School. I would like to thank the Chief Guest Shri T.S. Krishnamurthy for joining us despite his busy schedule. Your kind and inspiring words will ring in our minds and hearts for many years to come, sir. I would also like to thank our chairman, Mr. G.V. Selvam and Mrs. Anusha Selvam for joining us today. Our heartfelt thanks to our director, Dr. Sanjeevi, our advisor, Mr. V. Srinivasan, our academic coordinator, Mr. Ramesh Bharatwaj, our head boarding, Mr. Arun Kumar, our administrative officer, Captain Sumati, and our admissions coordinator, Dr. Aruna. A big thank you to all the parents and guests who are present here. We are so glad to have been able to showcase our talents to you. We also thank all our teachers for planning and working tirelessly for this memorable event. Furthermore, we would like to thank the estate department, hospitality department, and the housekeeping staff for their efforts in helping us put this event. Thank you very much. Last but not least, a huge thanks to all the students. We are the first batch at VIS and we certainly showed them how it's done. Thank you.
May I invite Mr. G.V. Selvam to address the gathering?
Fantastic performance by our students. Congratulations. Within a short time, I didn't expect this surprise. In fact, they're all trendsetters of VIS. The first batch, they are trendsetters of VIS. I congratulate the faculty who are given the training. They have spent so much time on this. Tomorrow will be a holiday for all to take rest. Let them take rest. Come with fresh energy on Monday. Thank you.
May I now hand it over to Crystal once again. Crystal and Sri Balaji.
థ్యాంక్ యూ తనీష్. మన ప్రవర్తన మన భావనలతో ముడిపడి ఉంటుంది. మన చుట్టూ ప్రేరణ, ప్రోత్సాహం మరియు ఆదరణ ఉంటే మనం పనిచేసే విధానం మరియు ఆలోచన విధానం గొప్పగా ఉంటుంది. ఎప్పుడైతే మన పెద్దల ప్రోత్సాహం ఉంటుందో, మనకు కించి పరుస్తూ మాట్లాడితే మన నిస్సత్తు ఏర్పడి మనమే అసమర్థులాగా అనుకుంటాము. మన పెద్దలు మనలనే నిరంతరం నడిపిస్తూ మార్గదర్శకులుగా ఉండడం మన అదృష్టం. ఇందుకు మనం వారికి ఎల్లప్పుడూ రుణపడి ఉంటాము. వారికే ఇవే మా ధన్యవాదములు.
May I request all present and able to rise for national anthem.
And guests, dinner will be served on the amphitheater terrace. Thank you.
Thank you all and have a good night.